Today we're gonna go over the easiest beginner skate tricks has become a true phenomenon on the internet here on YouTube. And in this video we're gonna go over 30 of them, and I'm gonna rank them into an easy beginner trick tier list, because not all tricks are equal. Some tricks are sicker than others, and in this video we're gonna find out which ones are actually worth learning. So in a video 2-3 years ago on my channel, I tried VLSkate's 30 easy beginner tricks. If you don't know VLSkate, he's the OG guy of creating these easy beginner trick lists. They've become a true phenomenon since, and we gotta find out which ones are actually nice, put those in the S tier, and which ones are shitty, and they're gonna be in the F tier. So we got some beautiful tricks lined up right here, ready to be put into tiers. We got a Chinese nollie, Biebelheimer, some really weird names, Noseblunt Yankin. I bet Felas from VLSkate, he came up with the names, some of the names themselves, because these tricks are so easy that they don't really have real names. We're gonna make them a little bit smaller first. There we go. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at each trick. We're starting off with the Chinese nollie, and then decide whether we like the trick or not. We're gonna put them into the tiers based on sickness. Some of these tricks you really don't want to do them at the park. They're just not worth it. Some are actually sick, especially if you take a look at like an ollie or frontside backside 180. Those are some proper tricks and are definitely worth it. So this is the easy beginner trick tier list. We're starting off with the Chinese nollie. So Chinese nollie, it is basically...
Let's try.
Okay, yeah. Chinese nollie, what you basically do is bump your front wheels onto a little bump into the ground. Your board flies up a little bit. It's tiny, the tiniest air that you can think of. This trick is definitely not that difficult. I'd say I'd put it on the C tier. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna put the Chinese nollie on the C tier because I think it looks quite steezy, but it's definitely not something you're gonna impress anyone with. It looks a little steezy, but doesn't look that cool. Or should we put it on the B? Alright, I'm just gonna put it on C for now. Maybe we can change things later. Comment below whether you think I'm correct. Alright, next up is the Biebelheimer. We got the Biebelheimer, and I still remember that I didn't know the name of this trick. For the Biebelheimer, what you basically do is you smack your board against the ground the other way around, and then your board flips up, and then you land on it again. I don't think it's sicker than the Chinese nollie, so I'm also gonna get this one on the C tier. Next up is the nollie shove it. I still remember that I didn't know whether it was a backside or front side that Felas was talking about. I did them both. Nollie shove it is a proper trick. I'd say it's on the A tier. Okay, so boneless. Boneless is also a real proper skate trick. I'm not gonna put it on the S tier because it's a trick that you put your feet on the ground with and your hand is grabbing the board. So even though it's a sick trick, I'm putting on the A tier. I bet some people might think it's on the S tier, but for me it's on the A tier. Next up, Fakie Frontside 180. That's a sick trick. That's definitely a sick trick. I'm gonna put this one, put it on the A tier. It's a dope trick though. If you guys got Fakie Frontside 180s, if you got Fakie Frontside 180s, you got a proper trick. Be proud of yourself. It's a dope trick. Feels a bit uncomfortable trying to learn it, but it's definitely worth trying. Next up is the hippie jump. So hippie jump definitely depends on whether you just do them on flat or if you do them over a rail. That makes a huge difference. So let's assume that the hippie jump, you're doing it over something. Then it's quite a proper trick. I'd say a B tier, because it's not something that you're gonna do in skate or that you can do in flat ground, but it's definitely sicker than the Biebelheimer or the Chinese nollie. So that's why we're putting it on the B tier. I think so far we got a perfect easy beginner trick tier list. It's quite fun actually. Alright, so the next up is the rail stand, and that sounds quite stupid. I have to see what it is again.
Rail stand.
Rail
Right,
stand.
so the rail stand, oh yeah.
Alright, so I remember what the rail stand is, and I still remember that this one took quite some tries. So this one's definitely a bit more difficult, but I don't think it's a really sick trick. I just think this trick is not that dope. Not sure if I'm gonna put it on the D or either C. Well, it's definitely just as sick as the Biebelheimer, so we're gonna put it on C. Fakie Casper flop. Alright, so that's basically a Casper flip Also kind of a freestyle trick because you balance on your tail. I'm gonna say that's also a C. It's like it fits right next to the real stand. Okay, next up, 180 no comply. A very trendy trick. I bet most of you guys expect it to be on the S tier, so we're gonna put it on the A tier. Sorry you guys. I know most of you guys expected it to be on the S tier because it's such a trendy, cool trick. But we don't care about trendy, cool, popular tricks. We only care about sickness. Nah, okay. I'm gonna put it on the S tier. I think it's good. It's a dope, proper trick. Okay, next up, the nose pickup. Well, that's basically popping up your board by pressing your front foot on the nose. I'm gonna say that's a D. It's not too special. It's basically a way to pick up your boards. It's neat. Like, it's nice that we have that on the beginner trick lists, but it's not that special. Okay, next up is the bomb drop. Well, that's basically running and throwing your board underneath you. Could be sick. Like, it could be performed from something high and it'd be really dope. I'm gonna place it next to the hippie jump. I think it's a good fit right there. That means B tier. Power slides. All right. I think power slides are sick. I think power slides are dope. I'm gonna put it next to 180 no comply. I think power slide is a proper trick, especially backside power slides. Those are actually quite difficult. I'm not even sure if those are considered easy beginner tricks because those would take quite a while. It's not a trick that you can do in a game of skate. I bet it's not really a trick that you would see in a contest, but it's just such a sick thing to do on your skateboard. So S tier for power slides. The wall bounce. Well, this is basically throwing your skateboard onto an object or a wall and then it bounces back underneath your feet. It took me quite a while to get this. It's also really stupid because it's not really anything. If you see someone do this or practice this one at the park, you'll find him an idiot. So that's definitely an F tier. Next up, the fake nose stall. Well, this one, it doesn't look sick at all, but you know, there's a bit of technicality in it. You can definitely practice these to practice your nose stalls. I'm gonna put it next to the nose pickup. D tier for them. Manuals. Alright, next up, manuals. Well, manuals, we all love manuals. Some people love manuals more than others, but manuals is a proper skateboard trick, so we're gonna put that on S tier as well. Firecracker. You need a nice little stair set for this one. I think firecrackers are dope. Okay, for now I'm gonna put Firecracker on the A tier. Maybe we'll switch it up later. I think it's a bit sicker than these three, but at the same time, it's not as a legitimate skate trick as the others here above. So let's keep going. All right, moving on to the backside 180 revert. Basically a power slide, a backside power slide to Fakie. Yeah, I don't think it's as sick as a power slide, but it's a pretty legit trick, so we're gonna put it on the A tier. 50-50 stand. I'm not sure what that is. Alright, so the last ones were quite easy. 50-50 kickstand. I just don't think it looks that sick. And because it's not that good for your board, I'm gonna put it on the D tier. Not really worth trying. Alright, kick turn. It's not a regular kick turn though. It's like a 360 kick turn on flat ground. It's not as much of a power slide though. I'm gonna put it on the B tier because kick turns are quite legit, but it's also not that special. Kick up, pick up, another way to pick up your board. Not that special. D tier, definitely D tier. Staple gun, all right, that's an interesting one. Normally these are performed on mini ramps, quarter pipes, but I think I did this one on a little box. It's a dope little trick. If you can do them on quarter pipes, it's actually really dope, so I'm gonna put those on the A tier. Caveman 50-50. I like how he came up with that because that definitely helps you to get the feeling for 50s even though you can't pop into it yet. I think that's a C. Definitely fits right next to these other ones. The ollie, you can't argue with that one. It's definitely an S tier. It's a proper trick. It's your first proper trick for most skaters. It's legit. It forms the basis of so many other tricks. It's like a fundamental trick, so it's definitely an S tier. No one can argue no one can argue with me about that one. Rail stand flip. Okay, so rail stand, we already saw that one. This one just contains an extra little flip, so we're just gonna put it on the extra little tier. It's getting together quite well. Look at this little list that we have right here. Next up is a poor man's disaster revert. I have no idea what that is. Poor man's disaster revert is basically a nollie pivot onto a slappy curb. I think it looks quite stupid. I'm gonna put it on the F tier. Alright, next up, the frontside shove it. Well, can't argue with that one. S tier for sure. Frontside shoves are actually quite difficult, and didn't expect that to be on an easy beginner trick list. Exostall. Is that a quarter pipe trick? Does he have a quarter pipe trick in there?
But he does it on a box.
Oh shit. Even though, you know, you have to ollie for this trick, I don't think it's as sick looking as an ollie because you don't grind it. So I'm gonna put it on the A tier. Those are supposed to be done on quarter pipes, and if you do them on boxes, you're gonna slip up a little bit and end up on the A tier. Sorry for that one. Okay, floating stairs. I have no idea what it is. Alright, floating stairs, basically a drop. Floating stairs, well, depending on how many stairs and how much airtime you have. Next up, front side and back side 180s. Well, that's a proper trick. You know, we don't need to argue about this one. It's proper, so we're gonna put it on the S tier. Sick. Nose blunt yankin. The name of it sounds quite dumb. I'm sorry, VLS. Just doesn't sound that great. I'm gonna put it on the F tier. Even though, you know, this trick is definitely worth practicing because, yeah, just for all the tricks, if you practice them, it makes you feel some skateboard tricks better. So that's good. Alright, everybody, this is the final list that we have right here. We got the S tier, we got some proper tricks in there. These definitely take longer than one day, but we got some really dope tricks on there. I love 180, no complies. I think power slides are dope. Manuals, not my favorites, but it's a proper trick. Ollie, the fundamental skateboard tricks. Frontside shove is quite difficult, and then frontside backside 180s can be beautiful. So the A tier, nollie shove it, boneless, Fakie Frontside 180, Firecracker, some other dope tricks. Then we're going to the B tier. I bet some of these tricks you can learn in a day. So this is my easy beginner trick tier list. Let me know if you agree with me. You know, let me know if you think the Caveman 50/50 should be on other tier. Let me know if you think the 180 no comply should be down. You know, tell me whether you agree with this one or not. I think we ranked them quite properly. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace out and skate on.